Good evening. My name is Ferdinand Martin de Bauhaus, though you may know me better as St. Anthony of Padua. I was born into nobility in 1195 in Lisbon, Spain. But don't be too impressed by that. Unless you know something about European history, you may not even know what being of a noble title means. You may think being of a noble title ties you to the crown. And that was the case up to the 6th century. But what you may not know is that a family can buy a noble title from the monarchy if the price is right. Well, family on my mother's side, they could afford it. But my great-great-great-great-grandfather was a naval commander in the last crusade. So that might earn me some respect in regards to my lineage. No? Not that it matters today, but judge as you might. It did allow me to grow up in relative privilege. And this included a classical liberal arts education from the Cathedral of Lisbon, where I studied subjects common to today's college students, such as math, rhetoric, astronomy, and music. And a subject not as common, Latin. Latin was crucial to me so that I may better understand the Bible and other ancient theological texts. You see, by age 15, I knew I wanted to be a priest and dedicate my life to the church. That impressed my parents greatly. I am both impressed and amused by the biographies that have been written about me. They all say that I lived a life of austerity and simplicity, and that is correct. It came easy by me, but it was not easy on my parents. Seeing their only child give away all that he had to live and serve among the poor was hard on them. But eventually I was able to assure them that God would provide me everything I need on earth, and I serve the Lord in order to receive divine treasures due me in heaven. But those same biographies also said that I was overcome by a great zeal to be a martyr for the church. That was an exaggeration. Yes, I was willing to die or give my life, dedicate my life to the church for the good of the church, but that is markedly different than saying that I was willing to die as a testament to my faith. In the end, well, literally, I died of an unknown illness at the young age of 36. In my adult life, I was known for my powerful preaching, my expert knowledge of the scriptures, and my undying love and devotion to serving the poor and sick. It's hard to tell you how I felt as I've preached. It's as if the Holy Spirit poured through me as I spoke. Pope Paul John II once said that I was not a half-hearted preacher, but a man of energy and charisma who brought not only learning and knowledge and holiness to his task, but a great sense of purpose. If only he could see me in action. I am proud to say that I'm one of the most quickly canonized saints in church history, and in 1946 was declared a doctor of the church, making me one of only 36 in church history. Now, after nearly 800 years after my death, I remain an inspiration to Catholics around the world, and the namesake of many. Hey, Tony.
Ooh, I smell bacon.
What did I tell you? I had a feeling.
I'll be darned. I think Father Tom was onto something, kiddo.
Oh, really? And what might that be?
Something about the power of prayer?
Yeah, well, most people pray for world peace or a cure for cancer. Young Tony here, he has to have scrambled eggs ready when we walk through the door.
With a double side of bacon!
With a double side of bacon.
All right. Kiddo, you know the rules. Go wash up before you eat. You too.
Okay, Mom.
Yes, Mother.
Another riveting mass, was it?
Be nice. You know, Father Tom asked about you. He wanted me to remind you that there's coffee on at the rectory anytime you want to stop by, and that the men's group meets on Tuesdays at 7.
Jean, we've been through this before and nothing's changed. So will you please just drop it?
I know, Anthony. It's just that Father Tom, he... Nothing's changed, so I'll drop it.
Thank you. Now I believe it's your turn to wash up.
Hey, so I thought you and I might head out to the lake this afternoon, do a little fishing. What do you say to that?
Fishing sounds cool, but you're gonna have to bait the hook for me, because I don't like that part.
What are you talking about? I've seen you bait 100 hooks.
Who, me?
Well, yes, you. You're a real pro. You reeled in those 7 bluegill the time that we went to Bagnell Dam with your cousins. You caught 4 of them with green giant corn kernels right out of the can. Don't you remember?
Dad, that was over 30 years ago. And I caught all that fish. Don't you remember?
That was you? I'm sorry.
That's okay, Grandpa. I think I can put on the worm by myself.
Nah, don't worry about it, little man. I'll take care of it. Or maybe you'd like to try some of your grandpa's artificial lures today? What do you say?
Hey, wait a minute, kiddo. Don't you have soccer practice this afternoon?
Oh, Mom, I don't want to play soccer today. I want to hang out with Grandpa.
Now, you missed last week's practice when you and Grandpa played hooky and went to the movies, remember?
And remember what the coach said. If you miss 2 practices, you may not get to be in the season opener next week.
That's okay with me, honest. I don't even really like soccer that much. I was thinking maybe I'd sign up for Little League Baseball.
Oh, really? And whose idea was that?
Oh, now settle down, Tony.
Dad, for the 100th time, please call me Anthony.
Anthony. If the boy wants to play baseball, you should support him. After all, I may not be around that much longer.
Oh, for crying out loud.
And I'd rather watch my grandson play an American game that I understand.
Okay. Can we all just enjoy this nice American meal before it gets cold? Your wide world of sports discussion, I think, can wait until we're all finished, all right? Thank you.
Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back. So let's root.
Home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. 4 is 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
I gained great notoriety preaching throughout Europe and had always hoped to return to Spain. But when I became ill, I was forced to retire to a retreat village in Campo Sipiros, about 30 miles north of Padua, Italy. Although I led a very public life as a preacher, I chose to remain secluded and silent in my last days. Count Tisa, who brought me to the village, built me a hut up in a large walnut tree, and that allowed me to live quite simply. People often said this of my way of living: not on this earth, but not quite in heaven. Those are hardly my words and not my sentiment. The truth is, I enjoy the view. Watching God's gift of a sunrise, as I said my morning prayers, and then seeing a multitude of stars in the clear night sky as I said my evening devotions was very beautiful. But living in that hut also gave me a point of view that many people lack. The value of stepping back, or climbing up, if you will, to look at a situation from a different perspective cannot be ignored. Well, Jean has that perspective too.
You know what I think it is? I think you have an overwhelming amount of resentment. You resent your dad, your mom, me, Father Tom.
An unhealthy amount of resentment? Wow, that's harsh.
Well, let's think about it. You resent your father for his sickness and his relationship with Tony, but it goes deeper than that. You resent your mom because of the promise you felt you had to make to her. And you resent her for dying 6 months ago.
Resent her for dying? How can you even say that?
Anthony, look, it's not that you didn't love her or don't care. It's just...
What was I supposed to say? She was on her deathbed, Jean.
It was never a question, Anthony. Of course, we would take your father in. I had no problem taking FMLA from the hospital to care for him. Deathbed promise or not.
On her deathbed. That night I slept in the hospital. You know what I remember most about that night? I was in the lift chair and Dad was in the other bed. And Mom had such a rough night. The pain meds didn't kick in until 2:30 and she had just fallen asleep. It was dark. It was quiet. I was so exhausted. Just as I was about to drift off to sleep, Dad says, I know you don't like to talk about your first marriage. Heck, that's true. I was just a kid at the time. Getting married seemed like a good thing to do. Calling Mom and Dad 2 years later to tell them I was divorcing Sandy was tough. And it was the only time we ever discussed it. Then, seemingly out of nowhere, Dad says, Mom had always hoped you'd get an annulment.
Really? I had no idea.
If anything, I resent him for saying that. No. He always had a way of saying things like that. Just like now. He just had a way.
I'm so sorry.
So these things are yours, Grandpa? They look so old.
Well, sport, I guess they would be, wouldn't they? Oh, those are the dog tags that I got when I joined the Army in '63. Did my basic training at Fort Dix, and then they sent me on an all-expenses-paid trip to Vietnam. Almost lost my left leg in the Battle of Nam Dong in '64. But, hey, I did get home in time for Christmas that year. Lucky, I guess. Lucky.
And what about this?
Oh, yeah, these are the things that you attach to those things you use to tell time, so that you could put it in your pocket. These are the things that you attach to those things you use to tell time, so that you could put it in your pocket. These are the things that you attach to those things you use to tell time, so that you could put it in your pocket. These are the things that you attach to those things you use to tell time, so that you could put it in your pocket. These are the things that you attach to those things you use to tell time, so that you could put it in your pocket. These are the things that you attach to those things you use to tell time, so that you could put it in your pocket. These are the things that you attach to those things you use to tell time, so that you could put it in your pocket. These are the things that you attach to those things you use to tell time, so that you could put it in your pocket. These are the things that you attach to those things you use to tell time, so that you could put it in your pocket. These are the things that you attach to those things you use to tell time, so that you could put it in your pocket. These are the things that you attach to those things you use to tell time, so that you could put it in Oh, it's a clock. No, it's not a clock. It's smaller. You wear it on.
You mean a watch?
Oh, right. It's a watch. Well, for the kind that goes in your pocket. It's a pocket watch. That's what it is. It's a pocket watch. Well, it's the thing you put on a pocket watch anyway. I forget what they're called.
I don't know either. What about this?
Oh, that's my Boy Scout neckerchief slide. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country, to obey the Scout law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. Hey, what do you know? I still got it.
You were a Boy Scout?
Oh, was I a Boy Scout? I made Eagle Scout in April 1961. And less than 1 in 10 Scouts can say that. Oh, Scouts taught me first aid, how to apply a tourniquet, tie a tie, pitch a tent, how to start a campfire without matches, and to be a leader. Well, I got your dad involved in Cub Scouts, but I don't know, it just didn't take with him. Your grandma was even his den leader, but after he lost the Pinewood Derby, he just lost interest. Your dad's a pretty competitive guy, but you know that.
I'm so sorry, Anthony.
You know, I went from a moment of falling asleep to being wide awake. The quiet was so painful. I could feel the breath, every breath I took. I could feel the beating of my heart, the tears welling in my eyes. And all I could think about was that he had waited 12 years to lay that on me. What was I supposed to say? How was I supposed to react? I wasn't about to give him any type of satisfaction. And worse, I didn't know what to say.
So you said nothing?
Nothing. I don't even remember saying good morning the next day, but I must have. Then I went back to Kansas City, and 2 days later, Mom died. But it wasn't just Mom I lost.
Lost your church.
No. I feel like I lost my dad too.
So sorry. You're afraid.
Afraid of what?
Think about it, Anthony. Your father has been here for more than 3 months. And I can't think of a single time that the two of you have been alone together. You're afraid that he's going to bring it up again.
Am I?
And what's this, a necklace of Grandma's?
Oh, no, it's not a necklace. What would I want with a necklace? You don't know who this is?
Jesus?
Oh, no, silly. It's St. Anthony.
Anthony, like me?
Yeah, like you. Well, and like me and your dad, too. We're all named after St. Anthony of Padua. Well, he's a pretty important saint. Haven't they taught you about him in catechism?
Nope, not that I remember. Who gave you this anyway?
Well, actually, I gave it to your dad at his first communion. And then he gave it back to me a few years ago as a joke.
As a joke?
Yeah, you see, St. Anthony's the patron saint of people who want to find lost things. And I was always misplacing my car keys and my wallet and stuff like that. Not all that funny now, is it?
Grandpa, are you okay? Grandpa?
Am I okay? Yeah. Yeah, today I'm okay. Today's a pretty good day. But yesterday was not a good day. Yesterday, I didn't know how to put on my pants. Can you believe it? Not knowing how to put on your own damn pants. Your folks, what have they told you about me?
Not very much. Mom said that Dad promised Grandma that you could move in with us after she died. Dad told me to make sure you don't try to drive the car. He said you were sick. You don't look sick to me.
How old are you now, Tony? 10?
Yes, Grandpa, I'll be 11 next month.
Tony, do you know how to play chess?
Yes, my dad says I'm pretty good for my age, but
Can you put the chain back on your bike when it falls off?
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, you're a pretty smart guy for 10. You may not know how to bait a hook. That doesn't mean you're not smart.
Like I said, I'll try to put the worm by.
Tony, I have Alzheimer's disease. It's a brain illness. It affects my memory, my thinking, the way I behave. One minute I'm fit as a fiddle, and the next minute I don't know how to put on my own damn pants or know the name of a watch fob. Watch fob.
Grandpa?
And see, it's funny for a while, I suppose. But later on, I won't remember how to open up the refrigerator door or shut off the water, and I'll flood the bathroom. You need to know that, Tony. But your parents don't think so. They don't think you're smart enough to understand.
I understand, or I think I do.
And you know what else? They think we spend too much time together. Your dad said so. He said you should spend more time with your friends. Well, that's why you had to go to soccer practice today. Did you know that?
I like spending time with you, Grandpa.
That's because we have fun together, and I don't treat you like a little kid. And there's nothing wrong with that, is there?
No, Grandpa, nothing at all.
Because oh, I miss you, Tony. It's not been the same for so long since...
Grandpa?
Well, like that day at Bagnell Dam, that was a good day. Oh, you caught all those fish, remember? Green giant niblets right out of the can. I was so proud. I told all the guys at the plant. Oh, I got this for you, son. I meant to give it to you your first communion, but I must have forgotten. It's a St. Anthony medal. Well, you're named after him, not me. Have you studied him in catechism? He's the patron saint of people who want to find lost things. And you remember that. And if you ever lose anything, I want you to take the medal and I want you to say the prayer that's engraved on the back. It goes like this. Tony, Tony, turn around. Something's lost and must be found.
You see, what happened was this. I was living in the monastery when my psalter, my book of Psalms where I keep my personal notes, was misplaced. Or so I thought it was until I realized it was taken by a young brother who left the monastery. Word has it that he got fed up with religious life and was not going to return. There was no way to track him down, so I prayed for him and my psalter's safe return. A short time later, he had a dream in which his life was threatened unless he returned my psalter. So he came back to the monastery, returned my book, and rejoined the order. It was a win-win situation, you might say, but I, of course, knew it was divine intervention. And that is how I became known as a patron saint of people who want to find lost things, and also immortalized me on pennants found around the world.
Did you know that the definition of pawn is a person used by others for their own purposes? I mean, after the chess one. Definition. Billy Carson told me that.
Really? Well, this Billy Carson sounds like a bit of a wise guy.
Well, he's in 7th grade. He's wiser than me anyway.
Oh, come on. Being 2 years older than you has nothing to do with being wiser. And for God's sake, take that chess piece out of your mouth, will ya?
Hey, you two, I'm gonna step out and get something to eat. What sounds good?
Oh,
Mac and cheese!
KFC it is then. Hey, your dad's still resting, so be... Hey, honey, sorry to bother you. How's the migraine?
Same. What time is it?
It's about 6 o'clock. Oh, you're still warm. Can you stay home again tomorrow?
I really shouldn't. I have to meet with Mark and Elaine about the spring band trip to Colorado. It seems like we have to do yet another fundraiser to pay for it.
Oh.
Yeah, tell me about it. I feel like I'm suffering from either a world's finest chocolate or a entertainment booklet migraine.
You're probably also hungry. You haven't eaten anything today. I'm gonna head out and get something. Does a bucket of chicken sound good?
Finger licking good, Colonel. If it's all right, I think I might stay here a bit more and rest.
Of course. Can I get you anything? A glass of water, a cup of coffee?
I'm fine, thank you.
Dad told me that George Washington had wooden teeth, but Billy Carson said that he didn't. I looked it up, and guess what? Billy was right.
What? Billy was right about what?
George Washington. His teeth weren't made of wood. They were made of hippo ivory and human teeth. Isn't that gross?
How does this piece move again? It's 1 up and 2 over, right?
Okay, then I'll be back in a bit.
No, Grandpa, you're holding a bishop. You're thinking of the night.
It's what?
A bishop. It moves in a diagonal.
What? I can't hear anything you're saying. Son, take that damn piece out of your mouth! On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country, to obey this scout law, to help other people, to help. Oh, help me, somebody please help! My son's choking! Oh, son, no, you can't leave me, I won't let you. No, Tony, come on. No, come on, Tony. Don't leave me. Don't you dare leave me. Oh, I have missed you so much. I need you, damn
Okay, then I'll be back in a bit.
Tony! Dad! Oh my God, Tony! 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 Tony!
Oh my God, son, what is the matter? Is the house on fire?
What's the matter, Dad?
Oh, thank God, you're alive! You're alive!
Oh, Anthony, it was just a dream.
Yes, a nightmare. But are you all right, kiddo?
Yep, Dad, I'm fine. I really am.
Okay. And Dad, are you okay?
Well, your son's kicking my butt in chess. But aside from that, I'm fine.
Oh, you guys. I'm sorry. It's just... Hey. What's this?
Oh yeah, Dad, remember this? It's your St. Anthony medal. Grandpa gave it to me.
Have I seen that? Saint Anthony. He's the patron saint for people who want to find lost things, right?
That's right.
You see, if you ever lose anything, Mom, just take the medal and say the prayer that's engraved on the back. It goes,
Tony, Tony, turn around.
Something's lost and must be found.
Dad, I want to say...
Son, you don't have to say anything.
I love you, Dad. But Dad...
Oh, I love you too, son.